What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning into this episode of Twin Finance. My name is Dylan, and today we're going to be talking about stocks for 2019 and my general outlook on where we think the markets are going to be headed throughout the entire year. And maybe in the next bit here, in the short term, it's a little bit hard to predict. So this is going to be mainly for towards the end of the year, where we think it's going to be towards the end of 2019. I think if we start to look at if you're looking around on Google and type in stock market crash and whatnot, there's a lot of people out there talking about the biggest thing that everyone's talking about is debt. Is the debt, particularly in the United States right now. That's a lot what everyone's talking about. I think they're up at like their total debt's right around 72 trillion. So a significantly high number, and from 2008 that actually has grown quite a bit. And I know that's what a lot of people are concerned about. I think they have a lot of valid reasons to be concerned about that. But I also don't want to bash debt entirely. I mean, they do accumulate a lot of debt. We also have to factor in the growth of the U.S. economy over the last 10 years and how much assets that the U.S. has also acquired over time. So it's not just all debt. They also acquire a ton of assets too, guys. So it's just like looking at a single company. When you look at their balance sheet, assets versus debt, the U.S. has more assets than debt. So I mean, we can't just always stress about the debt number. I know that a lot of people like to just go on and type in the debt clock and watch that trillions of dollars just keep climbing year after year. Obviously, guys, debt's not an ideal thing to keep taking on, and I think America has an issue there. With their stocks, that could really take a toll on the markets and economic growth over time. Right now, just for the purpose of this video, 2019, I don't see the debt shattering the economy in 2019 and making it really having a massive effect in 2019. I think maybe down the road, if that keeps stringing out, I think they're going to run into a big issue. But strictly for 2019, I really don't see debt being that big of a factor. There's only two ways that I can see, well, really only one big way that I can see the stock market actually crashing in 2019. The only way I can see the market crashing in 2019 is going to be, so that was the first one we talked about, and that's going to be, I think, just the trade wars, guys. I think that's what really is just going to, that's the one major key, I think, because if people are getting every day or so, you're going to see headlines about the trade wars this, trade wars that, what people are predicting. But as of right now, they're not really getting anywhere. But I think if trade wars go south and things go really bad with China, I think that'll crash their market, but it'll also crash not crash the U.S. market to nothing, or like 2008 or anything like that. But I definitely think we could be in like a full-blown bear market based on the trade war. I think that's really the big topic in the next few months here, that I think we're really going to see what kind of year 2019 is going to be based on the trade wars. And I think the other little underlying factor is also the trade wars, but I think also the Fed, guys. I think the Fed, now they stopped interest rates rising for now. They also said that there's a big possibility, or a pretty decent possibility, that they're going to keep rising them, maybe not in the next few months, but probably in the back half of 2019. They're looking to probably raise them a couple more times. But I think if they all of a sudden, for some reason, do start raising them again more and more, and then I think the over-leveraging of the United States and households around across the country, that's really going to take a big hit, guys, because people are going to refinance their mortgages on things that they cannot afford, and I think we can really see how that can affect an economy. But I mean, that's if they started hiking them pretty decent, as they already did. But I don't think in 2019 that's as big of a factor as the trade war. So I think, guys, if there is a big market crash, it's definitely going to be because of trade wars in 2019. But I think generally my outlook on the economy is just going to be, I think it's just going to be a mixed year, guys. I think that's going to be the tail of it. We kicked off, the earnings seasons has kicked off, for the last couple of weeks here. Every company, posting their annual and quarterly reports, and they've been pretty mixed so far. You've seen a lot of companies taking dives. You've seen a lot of companies jumping up. Apple's back to the biggest company in the world, of some pretty solid earnings. and they just took a dive before that. So I think that's kind of, I think that's going to be the tale of 2019, just a mixed year. I really don't see the market going down a significant amount in 2019. Let's say 20 plus percent. Maybe we could see 5 to 10% maybe, in my opinion, or we could even see a little bit of growth throughout 2019, generally in the single digits. But I don't see growth or a big decline. I think it's probably just going to be an up and down year, guys. 2020 on the other hand, maybe 2020 we could see a crash, but I really don't see that. There's a lot of big bears out there right now, saying the economy is about to fall apart in 2019. I don't know, guys. I really don't see it. I don't think America and countries around the world are in that great of a danger for an economic collapse. I don't know, guys. I really just don't see it. As I said, the debt's not alarming right now. As of right now, it keeps growing at an alarming rate. Could get pretty bad. Trade wars. I mean, that's one. Like I said, that's the big topic. I'm just going to underline that, guys. That's the topic of the video. But I think that's the only reason why. And if we do see a crash, that'll probably be why. The Fed. I don't think that's too intimidating right now either. So that's basically my opinion, guys. I'd love to hear yours down below in the comments. Obviously, no one's a market whiz. Anything could happen. We could have a world war, and that could crash the entire global economy, and that could be that, guys. So no one's an expert and can predict the future. Not saying I'm going to be right. That's just my general opinion. I'd love to hear you guys. If maybe I missed some things, you could point them out to me. But that's just my general opinion, guys. I hope you took some value from this video. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and have a great day.